All right. So if you work in a school like I do, you're probably going to have this happen at some point. This is an iPad, and this, if I can get it lined up here, is a broken off, it's probably hard to tell, but it's a broken off headphone stud in the jack. Now, in most cases, and this is no exception, the jack gets shifted off from the center of the hole. And if you're going to end up paying to get it repaired, you might as well just send it in, not even mess your time with this. But if you have one that's out of warranty and you need to give it and you're not worried about the headphone jack usage, you can use this tool. This is something that you can pick up from iFixit for about $25, $35. It's got a slight groove in it. It looks like a needle, giant needle, and it's meant for extracting out headphone jacks. So what you do is you fit this in here. And what I found works best is take something like this, heavy but not too heavy. Use the plastic end, put something underneath, because you don't want to tap this down and crack the screen. That's the most common thing. If you're not careful about this, you will break the screen on this, and then you're going to end up having to repair it anyway. And you just want to get it started. Work that over a little bit. And this is where, if you're not careful, once you feel it bottom out, stop. Don't beat on it too hard, or you'll crack that screen. You take a pair of pliers and you crimp on either side of the groove, just enough, and pull. And it might take a couple of tries, like it will in this case. I'm going to try this from a different angle this time. Another way to get these out that I've seen is to use, a ballpoint pen. Take it out, flip it around, put some glue around the end of it, and then let the super glue sit overnight. Once you've done that, you can pull it straight out. You pull. Then you'll end up pulling the broken stud out. So we'll try this again here. And nothing. All right, we'll do this one more shot here. And then, like I said, this one's probably going to end up having to go in or repair anyway. But it's a nice way to try and be able to, if you can, take out a damaged headphone jack. It is not budging. Yeah, it's just getting bent. Yeah. So in this case, it didn't work. I took a pair of rounded tweezers and used that. But can I see those headphones again? If I can show the camera what this should do. So imagine this is broken off, and obviously I'm coming at it from a different direction, but what you're going to see is that this is going to go over it again from the other direction. You're going to pinch with those pliers just enough to cause friction and pull the piece out. In this case, because it's bent so badly when it happened and it was so off center, I don't think there's any amount I'm going to get out of there. And actually looking at the end of it, it's just sort of chipped away. So it's deformed to the point where it's not going to come out. This is going to be an Apple repair. But like I said, I've used this before on 3 different occasions with no issue and been able to get the headphone jack out. And in 2 of the 3, the headphone jack actually ended up returning to being useful again. In the 3rd one, it just chewed up the inside of the headphone jack. In that particular case, I wasn't so worried about being able to use the headphone jack as I was being able to use Bluetooth or use the speaker here, because when it sees the headphones stuck in the jack, it won't put out the built-in speakers of the iPad. So at least in that case, I was able to get the speakers working. Now, in this case, it's going to go off to repair anyway, but I wanted to show you guys a way to deal with that. If you're getting a bunch of them, if they're relatively lined up, they're not too far off center, you can use this tool to get at least a few of them out and save yourself some of the repair costs of sending it in. In order to take this out, you've got to take the entire panel off. You have to take this whole board off, and you're pretty much replacing the entire socket. Or in Apple's case, they're going to replace that whole board. So $25 tool spread over 4 units, 3 units. You're still talking a lot cheaper than an average repair. So hopefully that gives you some insight. If I find another one, I'll give it another shot and update the video. And I'll also go over how to fix the same issue on Chromebooks. I've got 2 models of Chromebooks, a CTL and a Lenovo. And in the Lenovo's case, it's a separate board. But in both instances, those are not sealed headphone jacks. All you have to do is pop off the keyboard, take a paper clip and shove it right back through. Take a wooden skewer or a pipe cleaner and work some of the dirt loose. And in some cases, if you've got some sticking pens, pencils, whatever in there, get that out too. Keep in mind, you want to blow it out from the inside out in that case, so that in particular, if it's pencil lead or it's something that's got some sort of carbon in it, you don't short circuit the board and sabotage all that work that you did. So hopefully this helps. Send me a comment in the link below. I'll update you guys on some more projects that I'm doing later on, including, I don't have it here, but a sensor board for those that have DIY cabinets at home for IT cabinets. If you're using something like a Raspberry Pi or an old server and you want to know not what the temperature is of the processor, but if you've got switches and random other hardware, router in there, rack mount stuff in a small little 3-foot tall cabinet, and you want to know what the inside of the box is like, especially if it's not ventilated, this sensor, with a little bit of code, you'll be able to plug it in to a USB port on your server or any other device that can read basic USB to serial, like your Raspberry Pi. Run this little piece of code and it'll actually upload and give you a dashboard to work with, and even give you alerts in case your cabinet gets too hot. So before your hardware takes a dive, you know what you've got going on. That's a project that's going to be long term, and I'll keep you guys posted on that. Have a great day.